We are live. Welcome, Prospects Esports Racing League in China this week, Shanghai. Round 7. Had a huge shakeup last week at the Dutch Grand Prix. Forgot that we actually dropped the lowest points for the championship. So basically, if you score the lowest or you don't finish a race, that actually gets dropped out. Doesn't superbly affect things. So the championship standings are not completely shooken up after last week, but we definitely got to put a stop on people changing their names. Currently, Drug Pirate, now known as a Lost Robot Racing, unless somebody came in and took over the lead of the entire league. Currently, still our points leader with 83 points coming into round 7. At 69 points right now, Jonesy takes over second, Tintoretto third with 55, Dylan fourth with 47, and David Boyer fifth with 42. Still on the cusp is Bevo at 57. I'm sorry, his name is Bevo 57. On the cusp with 38 points there is Bevo, currently back at 6th. So let's say we got 6 guys in contention for this championship. China is it's a circuit. Long wraparound curve at the beginning. Some high speeds, some high speed sections. Not the most exciting racetrack, but we'll see. We here in Prospect Esports Racing League make the most doing the most boring circuits or situations. Maybe we'll get rain, who knows. We're going to find out. Artistic was with me. I don't know if he's still on or if his mic went. So, Artistic, if you're there, I can't hear you. You are there, now you're not. So we get some quali going here. Short quali. I think we've been short quali for a while now. Clear favorites in this race. Looks like Pat Patterson, Patty Pat, has made his return this week. A couple names coming back. Last week definitely got pretty shook up there on strategy. Tires played a big effect last week. And I think will be more straightforward with this week here in Shanghai. Speaking of Shanghai, Chinese Grand Prix started back in the 2004 season. Won until 2011. Initial winner was Ferrari's Rubens Barrichello. Alonso won it after. We got Hamilton has 6 wins here. 08, 011, 014, 015, 017, and 019. Shows you how great this track is. By the way, it is raining. So this will be interesting. Maybe we'll get rain all weekend. I believe it's been a minute. So we'll see who goes out first. Everybody in this week's race includes Patty, Pat, Dylan, Natty, the Natter Day, Harris, Mouse, Maddie D, Tintoretto. Maddie D is also out first. Boyer, Shane O'Mac, Pigman, Manbear Pig, Jonesy, Cavoli Ravioli, Lucifer Shahid. There he is.
Hey, it had me in game chat, mate. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to figure out, I'm like, why can't you not hear me? Well, after clicking around a little bit, I seen I was on game chat. I apologize for that.
Technical difficulties. Rounding out everybody this week, Suffian, Bevo, Crew Streamers, Coconuts, Pulowski, and Drunk Pirate, Rum, whatever, now Lost Robot Racing in the Ferrari. Of course, Ferrari still leading the Constructors' Championship for Tier 2. I take that back. It is Red Bull after last week. So we dropped the drivers' points, but we don't drop the constructors' points. So the shakeup last week definitely came on the constructors. 4-point lead now for Red Bull. Ferrari at 85. Alfa Romeo 79. Mercedes 61. And Haas back at 50. Round out the top 5 of our constructors. Going back to this circuit, Mercedes really dominated this circuit during the turbo era. Because even like the 2 gaps for Hamilton were 12 and 16, and well, that new car didn't start in 2012. Nico Rosberg's got a victory here in 12 and 16. Fernando Alonso 05 and 013. Mercedes 6 wins, Ferrari 4 as they dominated early on. McLaren with 3, Red Bull with 2. Most recent winner was Hamilton. Ricardo actually won the race in 2018. So there we go.
And I guess the most important for me personally non-win in 2007, Lewis Hamilton was ahead. Had just lost first place. Really was going in the pit on some old wet tires and slid into the sand, and that probably cost him the championship his rookie year, as he lost the championship by 1 point, but he did not get a single point in that 2007 race because he DNF. Broke my heart.
Yeah, whole nother era then between him and Raikkonen at that point. First year for Hamilton, and yeah. But Shanghai, hopefully we can make the most of it wet right now. Most of the guys we got half the field out. Harris is done. Don't know why. He's out. So let's go ahead and pull up some stuff here on the screen to look at so I know what I'm doing. Everybody at intermediate, Shane O'Mac surprisingly on mediums because he's got the gumption to try and tackle it. I mean, it's quali. It's not real life either, so if you wreck, you're not going to die.
No, you just destroy pretty much a week's worth of practice and aggravation. You know, you spend a lot of time getting ready for these guys because if you're not training, you know someone else is.
Yeah, right now, Lost Robot Pirate, the Lost Pirate. I'm going to start calling him Lost Pirate. He's look like he might be first across here to get a time in. Light rain right now. No torrential downpour. We will see how this goes as we close in on July 1st for the release of F1 22. Coming just a few weeks away as we're hoping to wrap this up by the time that launches. I've been playing it. I've been playing with the supercars.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think?
There are supercars in the game, and strange flex, but surprisingly, it's been pretty good. So they handle pretty realistically. That's weird, but it should offer something different.
Do you notice any of the porpoising, or has that all been taken care of in the game?
I have not noticed any purposing really to that degree. Of course, it's early builds. They might not have added that. The cars, to me, don't seem to bounce any more ridiculous or any really more different than they have in the past. It's really about the tires and the grip and how they handle and just how difficult. I mean, the back end comes out a lot easier. But again, this is early stuff, so we'll see what happens come launch when they put the final touches on everything. So, speaking of which, Tintoretto right now 144.007. 007 takes that top spot so far, and
it looks like Shane wants to come out in the mediums. Everyone else is out in the intermediates. I'm kind of curious to see what he's got up his sleeve.
As mentioned, I mean, if you wreck, you'll just be out of quality and go to the back, but you might as well take a shot here. You got 15 minutes to see if maybe you can make something work and get an advantage over, because it's really not raining that much. I mean, it's wet, but if you can make it stick and get a time, it's quality.
And unlike Tier 1, this is Tier 2. Tier 1 is full quality, whether it's the Q1, 2, and 3, whereas Tier 2, 3, as well as the Academy. No, the Academy actually is a what do you call it? A short quality one shot, but Tier 2 and 3 is short quality, so you get the 15 minutes to make it happen.
It's all about the sprint, which be interesting to see how we incorporate sprint races if we do that for the next season. The sprint races are coming to F1 22. Might just be for the specific tracks. I don't know if we'll be able to set a sprint session, no matter what it is. But it would be kind of cool to run a short race to set the position and come back and run the full race with the short 3 or 5 laps or something like that. That'd be kind of neat.
Speaking of short races in F1 2020, what is the sprint race setup like? Is that pretty interesting? Is it fun?
For 22, I haven't really messed with doing the sprint stuff yet. I mean, that's a choice you can make before. Who was
Pigman
that?
looks like Pigman slid out around in between turns 7 and 8. Looks like he got it back under control. I don't believe he
No,
hit
he
the wall.
doesn't.
Oh, he slid out again. Them tires are probably burning hot.
Well,
Them
he's got
tires are
one
probably
lap on those
smoking.
intermediates. They might not be warm enough yet, so they might be now after you've done that spin.
Yes, sir.
Tenerito's
All
still up
right.
by nearly half a second. He's up over half a second on Coconuts now. He's back in the pits. Boyer third, Lost Robot Pirate fourth, Pat fifth, T-Mouse six back in the pits.
And Matty D is coming out with the soft, so they must be getting some intel back in the pits that the rain must be starting to slack up there a bit.
Well, as I'm going through the screens, I'm not seeing any water coming down. So yes, that seems to
It's
be
true.
the.
Great observation.
I think we're going to see everyone make that jump here. Because by the time they make a lap around, get back into the pits, change those tires, every second that lap dries off. And yes, there is no more rain coming down. Or no, there is no more rain coming down. I don't know what the right. You know what I'm saying. It's not raining. So they're going
Yep.
to change their stuff. Tenerito now charging up, though, in the intermediates. Wonder if he's just going to come back in and make that swap. Because we're going to see a giant leap. We should hopefully see 139s here if they go to all softs and it dries up. It'll be a 5-second difference. That could be a bold prediction on my end, but I believe Tenerito qualified really well last week, too. But I can't remember what happened yesterday. But I want to say he qualified really well last week.
Yeah, I need to do a much better job of keeping up to par in terms of what these guys are doing week in, week out, because it really does affect how a given race goes. Because once you race with these guys week in, week out, you start to develop a character of how each and every driver races. So you might not take a turn a certain way if you got another hot driver behind you or in front of you that's more aggressive than, say, another driver. You might take it a little less so because this guy here is a little more respectful, whereas this person here is more aggressive. So if you not only race the track, you race the other drivers as well. So as the season progresses, all the character of who everyone is starts to be on display.
So basically, everybody is in the pits right now changing their setups and then therefore changing their tires because the rain stopped. So that's why we got a little bit of break here. I think Matty D is the only one. He's the one that jumped out on the soft, so we'll go to him right quick and see if he's going to be punished for maybe breaking those out a little bit too early if the track is still damp.
You know, it's amazing. I've always said you can truly see the character of a person behind a vehicle. I mean, you can see them in a social setting and they seem nice and sweet, but you see them behind the wheel of a car. That's really when you get an opportunity to see whether or not they're, a little more gracious than most or less so. So, and this league has really been primed for throughout this whole pandemic. I've seen the character of some guys really just help me get through this whole process. So I'm so thankful for Prospects Esports League, eRacing League, or as we used to be, PRL. There's really so many tremendous people in here in every single tier.
Yeah, Max Verstappen is about the perfect one that seems really cool off the track, but on the track he's a real dick.
Hey, language. We got kids watching. Hey, but you know the thing about it is, I'm totally not a Max Verstappen fan.
Oh no.
But as a race fan, how can you not appreciate somebody who loves racing as much as he does?
True.
I mean, as a racer, that guy is a pure racer from top to bottom. So I absolutely love that about him. But I just really wish he would clean up certain aspects about him so I can enjoy him overall.
Understandable, definitely. I'm a Ferrari guy, so I'm just watching us throw the season away. That's great. Matty D on the softs. I take that back. 135. Okay, so I was actually underestimating the 5-second difference.
I think most people, to some degree, are Ferrari people. Even if you hate Ferrari, you really want to see Ferrari on the map because, they've been the pinnacle of F1 for so long in ideology, even if they haven't always been the number one car. A non-racer, a non-person who isn't really orientated with motorsports at all. If you think about a car, Ferrari comes to mind for them. So as Ferrari grows, as does the sport. So you can't hate on them guys.
Exactly. We'll take a look here at our current points leader. Changed his name again. Lost Robot Racing. Going down that far backstretch, sector 3, going to the hairpin. This track confuses me a good bit with Bahrain at sometimes. There's just some sections that look the same. But that's just me. So he hits the front stretch here as he takes that spot, 134.711, and then T-Mouse breaking out the cheese, 133.353, surpassing the points leader by over a second. This is almost a sprint here as it is down to the end because we only got 5 minutes left and everybody just changed their setup in their tires. So they got about a lap or two to get comfortable and then push it.
Yeah, I'm having a look at Patty Pat here. It looks like he's about to go ahead and get his hot lap started. He's backing around turn 12, 13, 14, coming around this bad lap back in, 15. Let's go ahead and get her started. Nope, it looks like he pitted.
Jonesy with the drift, second in points, did take it, but Bevo on the cusp, 132.407. He comes right in behind Jonesy. So we're going to get a 131.9 for our pole, or are they going to be able to shave off a half a second?
Oh, no, they're coming. Shane hadn't even put a lap in.
Well, Shane O'Mac tried it on mediums early, didn't set a time. Everybody's on the intermediates. Polowski in at fourth, 133.629. 4 to go. And some change. We got 15 people with time set. Harris will start from the back. Owen, Shane O'Mac, Lucifer, and Suffering has not got nothing but 2 on their outlaps. Shane O'Mac and Lucifer still in the pits. Dylan popping off, 132.251.
All right, let's get it.
And he was still faster through Sector 1. Let's see what else we got here. We can run some times together. Who's coming up? Let's see a Haas. Is that Pigman? That is Pigman as he's going to approach the line here. Quality. Can he get up there with his teammate? Pigman takes it. 132, 135 up there, surpassing his teammate. Haas 1 and 3 right now.
All right, we're at the 4-minute mark.
Let's see what we got here. We got a Grady Posson. Is that Natter Day? Good. He's in the pits. And Bevo behind him, though. Is Bevo going to push or come back to the pits? Bevo back at the pits.
Have you noticed in the 22, do you like in the 21 right now, you got to come out pretty much with at least in Q2, you got to come out in the tires in which you qualify with. In the F122, that is not the case. Do you notice, has it affected the racing, not having to have that extra lap or so on those tires?
Yeah, it has. The other thing that's going to affect things is that turn in. There's a developer dive video that came out today. They really break down the physics. Go check that out on their YouTube page. It's about 25 minutes long, so they break down. Oh, the sun's out now, so it's really getting. They're going to get.
Get it.
Yeah, this is going to heat up here for that last push. But yeah, there you'll be doing the turn into the pits too. You could turn that stuff off, but like basically this can affect your time. So if you slip up, it can affect the race. But that can be turned off. The tire model and just the overall aerodynamics of the cars are what really dictate everything so far. But again, it's early in build, so we will see if that changes come launch. But it's been I'm fairly excited about it. This felt a little bit dated. Going through this felt a little bit dated to me for about a month. So yeah, plus being able to race in Miami is going to be really good because it's such a good track.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have. You don't think they had time to put Vegas on there, or there was contract problems? What happened there?
Vegas ain't until next year, so it'll be a next year's game. They won't do things on a calendar.
I see. Okay. I see.
Yeah, I made a big deal in Miami, but by the time the game comes out, Miami was 3 months behind. So it's like, okay, well, you got a new track, but.
Well, I heard they may be putting previous tracks that are not on the calendar that are just have been in F1 throughout its history. They're going to put them on there as possible, race options. So that'd be nice.
Owen came out of nowhere. It was second right there. 132, 186.
For a lot of folks.
So I think pole's going to be Yes, we could put it on Patterson. Where's he at? 16th on mediums. There he is coming down sector 3. Finish it off here, but hopefully he's got something to compete. About ran into whoever that was. Well, he's just trying to get the...
Owen is looking a lot better right now. Monday, he had a race with it yesterday. He raced Tier 1 in PC. It had a rough start. Didn't have quite the race that he would have typically had. So I think today he's looking much more like himself. You know, sometimes so many things outside of the race can affect the race. You know, somebody can start talking to you. You're looking for your keys. You can't get your rig set up right. Next thing you know, the race has started. And before you know it, racing against other racers of this caliber, you really cannot start off badly. You got to have a good start to have a successful ending for the most part.
Pat bumped up to 9th right there. We'll look and see who else is running. Got the 2 Ferraris coming. Lucifer's not even set a time yet. Lost Pirate is on fresh softs. We are in overtime here to set the time, so only 2 guys are set in. Pigment Man is set in. Current pole sitter, but there's a lot of people left to finish. Here comes around the corner Z Ferrari Forza across the line. He goes 7 behind him. Lucifer's just not going to set a time, I guess. He's in the pits. Shane O'Mac also did not set a time, so they will all start from the back. See if anybody here comes across. Is that Crew Streamers or Pat? There's Cruz in the pits. He's going to take back at 14th.
Patty's still out there, but he doesn't seem to be pushing it.
Cavoli across the line goes to, he's still 16th. He is locked in. So let's take a look at Dylan and Bevo here, see where they're at. Bevo across the line will take first. And there it is, the 131.9 that is needed to lock it in. And Natterday sneaks in at 3rd.
Jonesy, look at Jonesy taking pole.
And there we go, Jonesy with the snag, 131.8, beyond the expectations. Second in points, hoping to get...
Suffering spent out.
Jonesy hoping to chip away here at the championship to get back into it. Dylan's still due to come through, though. Here he comes, and he does not improve. He is 6th.
Looks like we had a pretty unsafe entry there. Dylan is suffering, is having some problems. He's having some problems getting back on track. All right, he's okay now. Nobody's behind him. He's got this. He's probably like, let me get the heck off this stinking track. I've been there, my friend. How bad can you be? You're in Tier 1. You kidding me?
He's redlined on this one, though, so he will start with 17th. But our front runners are going to be quick. Bevo and Jonesy, this should be a hell of a battle. Natterday in 3rd, Pigman, Manbear, Pig 4th, Owen 5th, Dylan 6th. Everybody's locked in. We got 3 guys not set a time. So...
And this is one of those tracks that we don't, I think as an F1 community here these last couple of years, it's not an overall very popular one. So it's a great track in many respects, but it's not very popular. So anything can happen on this track. I don't think everyone is as familiar with these terms as they would be in other tracks. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this turns out.
Absolutely. Hopefully we had our one bit of rain and that was it. And we're going to see just how well turn 1 goes with that sweeping corner down that hill and the switchback. One of the more difficult, underrated difficult corners on the Formula 1 calendar. But there is our lineup. I don't know what his hand gesture is, but sure. West side, I don't know. West World. Whatever. Jonesy, Bevo, Natterday, Pigman, Owen, Dylan, Coco, Lost Pirate, points leader, starts 8th. Teneretto only went on mediums and got a 132. Wonder what he could have done on softs. So, like he's maybe not playing all his cards. We will see here in about a minute. So we'll have to see if our points leader can make his way up the field and rebound after last week's debacle. Can Jonesy hold on? Bevo always the fast one, though. they might just pull away from the field. We will see.
I don't know. I've seen some really, really fast guys, even at the bottom of the track of this current grid right now. So I really don't count anyone out. 1 through 20, anybody can win this race today.
No doubt. So, we're waiting. Full grid, no rain, full sun, all the heat, all the mugginess. So, we're going to see guys drive the tires off the wheels of these cars. As our current points leader tried to do last week, but didn't really work out too well in the end.
I would love to go to a Formula One race, man. You ever been to one?
Hoping to go to Vegas. Been to IndyCar a couple times. Been to the Indianapolis 500. Been to stock car events. Been to bike events. Just never been to Austin. Miami went too quick for us to get a jump on it this year, but I'd rather do Vegas than do Miami, because that's a whole experience in itself. So we will see. We get lucky there, but yes, this section right here will be a cause for concern as soon as the race starts. But yes, once you move.
Where you at?
Where am I at?
I've got a nice little. You haven't started over there? Can you see it start?
I'm watching the pace lap. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We're on the same page.
There's our predictive strategy. Some guys are saying 1 stop. Amazon saying 2 stops. If you start on softs, it's 2 stops. I guess if you start on mediums, you can probably get away with 1 stop. Suffian is out. So is Harris. Don't know what happened there. My dog is itching himself for some reason. You know. All right. So we're already down to 18 in the field. I think last week we ended up getting down to about half.
Really interesting. Like, so Suffer was having some problems there at the end of quali. So that might have tapered over into he might have just had to get out of here. Something must have went on in the room there, and he might have just had to cut this race short.
Bingham right here talking junk, saying it's 1 stop anyways. Well, maybe for him. You were racing this league, but then you dipped.
Yep. Who, Bingham?
Yeah.
Oh.
I still don't think I changed this out of performance mode on my PS5. I know I didn't because I haven't made the change. So I'm sitting there like, oh, this looks like garbage. Yeah, because it's still in performance mode. I need to make that change before the next race. So.
Really? Is that big a difference?
It's a pretty big difference. I mean, you'll see it on you'll see it on. If you go back and watch the stream, like right now when I'm talking, you can just look at the grass and it just looks awful. I mean, it's just green flat pallets with some brown.
I'm still on the PS4. You know.
Well, time to get on.
Drinking along old school style. Still rocking the classics. Here we go.
Line up here to the grid. We got Alpha is second. Wait, were they second? No, they're third in constructors. And then Haas. 2 Haas in the top 5. We got 2 McLarens in the top 7. And they are gunning. Best camera view I've seen yet. And we are green. We have launched. Look at the 1 Haas jumping to the middle, cutting across, but clean jump for Jonesy. On the outside, Haas underneath the middle with Bevo. Natterday on the outside as they sweep around into the sharp chicane. That's really hard to say really fast. Bevo still maintains second. Pigman, man, they're almost 3 wide. The McLarens are back to back, 6 and 7. Everybody is through clean in that section, and our points leader lost a spot to Tintoretto. A little bit of nudge there underneath for the Red Bull of Dylan, who gets around Pigman Man as also. So we are pretty thrush here and got through pretty quick and smooth. Big spark there.
Yeah, we had a couple people go wide. I know so far Harris seems to be having a hard time kind of keeping his car on the track. But everyone seems to be staying out of each other's way, driving respectfully, trying to get a little speed up without stretching too many elbows out there.
Yeah, Tintoretto a bit slow around that section with that corner. It's so vague. I can't describe it. Anyways, he basically had three people go around him on the outside as he was on the far inside of that corner, and it did not work out well for him as we go onto the back straight here. Everybody's really spaced out really well. Somebody really wide in the back.
Awesome move, crew.
We are down into the hairpin. Single file everybody through. Real clean. And we see Jonesy starting to get a little bit of a gap there on Bevo, as this ends up being a really fast section of the circuit because you come down the back straight besides the hairpin.
Oh, T-Mouse spent out. T-Mouse. Oh, my goodness gracious. T-Mouse spent out right there at the start of the start line there. I didn't see any contact. Looks like he just came around that final turn and couldn't get a hold of the car, and he spent out on him.
We got four guys not happy with their setups. I don't think anybody made contact. Somebody did because Tintoretto did lose his wing. That might have explained his bad section at the race start. Both Mercedes in the pits. This might give them an advantage at the end. If they can make it to the end, we will see what they're going on tire-wise. But right now, Jonesy almost a second lead on Bevo as they come through Sector 2. Dylan, Pigman Man, Owen, Boyer, Pat made their way up to 8th. Lost Robot Racing, the Pirate, our points leader, has fallen to 10th. The Ferrari curse.
Looks like we've got a nice little clump of racing here between all the way from the basically the top 11 cars. They're really just going for it. I'm going to be curious to see how this shakes out.
Owen trying to close in on Pigman Man. When he make a move here and drive in hard to this hairpin, now he's going to fall in line and go with the flow. Again, there is our strategy. Expected, but supposedly some of us can do it on one stop. So there's that.
This is the kind of track that doesn't build ERS.
Suffian spun out. He's back in Sector 2. And he almost clips, I guess he went through him, but he almost clipped Harris. So Dylan also in the pits already. What's going on here? Did not change the wing, just going straight tires, trying to get the head of the game. He's going to fall way back after running pretty early. I didn't know this until now, but I can click on individual people and see what their predictive pit stop strategy is. I didn't know that was a thing.
I can see. Really?
Yeah, I just did it by accident because it popped up again, and as I'm cycling through, it's changing all the strategies.
That must be a PS5 thing, because I don't have that up.
The Jonesy's still leading this thing half a second, though. Bevo keeping it within striking distance. Once this DRS opens, we should see some shuffling around, especially with how much room there is on these straights to get up to maximum speed. Owen still almost being held back at this point by Pigman Man. McLaren power outlasting the Haas power of last season. So we will see. Creeping right behind him is Boyer in the Red Bull, Honda Red Bull. And not really any gains on these long stretches without the assistance of DRS. Owen got in pretty close right there to Pigman Man.
I know Jonesy's in the lead, but he's having to burn a lot of ERS to maintain it. He's down to 19%, whereas Bivol's up at 70-something% here.
Well, DRS is open, and there's our move to the outside. Boy, he's trying to cross under.
Great defense. Can he hold him off? Oh,
it's such a tight spot. Onto the outside. Good battle, but where do they go?
You guys get down, man.
I do not know where they went. Who's doing that? I have no idea, but we got a lead change. Bevo.
Bevo came out of there. Bevo, my bad.
He used that DRS down the front stretch, stuck at the outside, undercut behind Jonesy to get the inside position through that tough chicane. And all that.
They started their battle. Jonesy only had about 19% ERS, and Bevo had 76%, and I think that extra about 60% of ERS there what gave the difference.
Let's see if Jonesy backs that up here on Sector 3 straight to go into this hard 90, and then another sweeping long right, the pendulum, basically a carousel, around to these long straight that does end in a banked corner to a degree. And let's see if Jonesy can make it up here. DRS is open. Does he got enough to catch him? We got a train going here. Second and third.
Doesn't look like it. But anything, he's better watch his back because Natty got it back together, and he's really close to gap. He did a great job of recovering. Awesome recovery. Really, I should have kept my eye on him a little closer.
We'll take a look here. Owen, who was running high. Jonesy is in the pit. Yeah, I think a couple of guys are pitting here on strategy really early to try to make it a long way, but I don't know if that's really going to pay off or not. Unless there was contact, but Bevo and Natterday now 1-2. Also, like I said, Owen dropped back quite a bit. I don't think he pitted, though, so something happened. And our points leader, Lost Robot Pirate, is up to 6th now. Pat up to 5th early on. Pigman Man maintaining the 4. Boyer so far 3. Natterday and now Bevo as they get a little bit more space in that top 3. Bevo is fast, as you saw. Jonesy holding that ERS down most of the time to fight him off.
Got crew and both Shane are out there on those hards, and they're playing the long game here. Shane's probably climbed maybe 9 places so far. I think he may have started 18. So I don't know about a win, but man, I'm sure in his own heart he's thinking about a podium, even from the 9th position.
Yeah, I did not have the tire graphics up on the screen. Just not did that. Appreciate that. So you can see we only got 5 people on softs right now. So they're going to try to make this run early and hopefully get enough gap. What was that? I have no idea what's going on right now. It's not the dog's barking too. Bevo in the lead still. Trying to fight off here. We'll see what happens on the front straight.
No contact there between Lost Robot and Pulaski.
Yeah, Boyer inherits the lead as Bevo pits. I guess these softs, I don't know if they're just trying to get them out of the way and then go on the mediums the rest of the way. I'm not sure. But these leaders pitting pretty early here. I mean, this is a long race. 28 laps here is a long race. So, especially on them tires.
And it's a pretty long track. So, you know, you're not, especially at this condition when you're fighting guys off, these tires burn a little quicker than you would want. The hards are seem to be the tire of choice coming here on the pits.
I think if you can start in the mediums and make them last, as we see side by side here with Pat and Pigman, if you can make the mediums last here, then switch over to softs. If there's not an incident, then to me that kind of be the way to go. The hards, I guess, if you can make those last and then switch to the softs at the end. But I see a lot of people giving up on these softs early. Natterday still in the lead here. Boyer hot on the tail. How coming around the corner, we might see a pass. See these flaps open up. Coconuts is out of the race. Did he wreck?
Oh, Coconuts is out. Oh, looks like he's out.
Here comes the move. Nothing there for Boyer.
Right after the finish line as well. So we'll see. I'm on Natty right now. Let's see what Natty sees as he passes him up.
Not Natty in the pits too. So Boyer inherits the lead. I do not see a car on the track, so at least there's no safety car.
He disappeared there.
They just picked him up that quick. So
they're playing around. They know these guys need some room. These racers need some room because they're not all guys now. In our Prospects eRacing League, we also have a multitude of different types of cultures and people and genders and everything in this league. So, you know, if you are the type of person that's open-hearted and able to communicate with with the good spirit, with the willingness to be culturally embracing, this is definitely the community for you. Because, like I said, we got a little bit of everybody in here, but all the right type of folks, you know.
Yes, sir. Lost Robot now up to third or points leader, but boy, he's being trailed. It's weird too because he's on softs and the other 3 are on, one's on medium, the other 2 are on hards, but they almost feel like they're being held up by somebody should be almost hitting peak on those tires. On the fresh tail here, Pawlowski. What's he gonna do here to bust a move? Kind of a bit of a train here. Can they get it? Where's it going to come, though? Is it going to be close enough to make a pass on the Ferrari on this backstretch? as Lost Robot now third. Pat up to second. Was trying to break the draft, but we're gonna have. Is he gonna push it in here? Or does not.
The third here looks like this last podium position here. We got a little battle going between Lost Robot. Oh nope, between Lost Robot and Crew Streamers. Told you can never sleep on Crew. You don't even notice Crew until you look up and he's battling for a lead of the race itself or a podium position. You know, it doesn't make a lot of noise, doesn't get into a lot of accidents, but drives really extremely consistent.
Right, capitalizing on the inside is Crew Streamer, speaking of the devil, but doesn't matter in that corner as Pulowski gets it right back as the dynamics change as soon as it cuts right back to the left.
So we got a nice little four car battle here for third.
And somebody's down in sector 1. Who is that? I don't see anybody off. So we'll keep it going.
Is it Owen?
Looks like it's going now. You still see here Pulowski trying to find his opportunity. Is it here? Is he going to cut it? No, he does not. He goes back to the right and falls in line again. He could have gotten away with cutting that spot right there, cutting that apex, and taking that spot. But you got to wonder how much ERS Lost Robot Pirate is using.
What's he got? He's at about 33%, and Pulowski's chasing him with 48%. We got 29% from Crew and 65% from Shane.
So we're going to need more of that tech stuff from you. On the outside here, Pulowski does get it with DRS. Still side by side, but now he gets by as the Ferrari falls in line. Kind of cuts off Crew Streamers. They bump. Wasn't too happy about that. And Ferrari Lost Robot into the pits. He gives up. That's over.
Dang this. Let me change these tires. These boys playing rough. Some rough riders out there.
They bumping and grinding. And Shane O'Mac looking to make his stop. Currently top 5. I'm trying to get an idea of where these strategies play out for now. Are the people on hards going to have to pit again if they want to be competitive to win this race? Or
I'll tell you, the position we have to, let's let all the pits shake out, because right now the position changes are astronomical. I mean, Shane just moved up 14 places from 19th to 5th. Buddy has he pitted? Let me see.
No, they're all. Everyone in the top 6 has not pitted. Lucifer also has not pitted. He's 10th. So they're all on. They're gonna be looking to do something. They might have pitted.
They got to pit once. Well, Shane's got 8 laps on those hard. So he might have put a lap in the softs, pitted, and then I don't know how long.
I know four people did, and I can't exactly remember who did. But you look at the likes of right now. To me, the Ferrari with the pit right now might be beneficial here in the end.
What's the individual track our pit strategy? What does PS5 say about the pit strategy of Shane? When are we going back in there?
It was saying it was 2 stops, and I don't remember what it was because it varies, I guess, on person.
Him and Crew would probably go around the same time.
Yeah, it depends on how much they can get out of those hards and still be competitive, because we're going to have people catching up. As Tintoretto makes a pass on Owen. Take a look back here. Ooh, they nudge. Owen with the push there. Let's get the Ferrari Lost Robot right behind him. A couple guys have already... Let's take a look here at the stops. So, yeah, top 6 at all. 6 have not stopped. Bevo has. Dylan has. Jonesy has.
Shane may have stopped.
Nah, it says it is not stopped.
He has not stopped. Okay.
Nope. Okay. So, yeah, top 6 have not stopped, which is probably why they're all running in the top 6. So we'll see what Bevo and Jonesy can do to make it up here. Jonesy might be able to make those mediums go the whole way, but I'm not convinced that we're not going to see a safety car. But if there's one track where we probably won't, probably be this track. It's such a long track. Everybody's evenly spaced out, so unless you make an individual gaff.
Yeah, like once the race starts, you're going to have accidents on this track. It's typically within the first couple of races or really right after a safety car. You're going to say, if you have a safety car, got to get a little overly aggressive with those cold tires. You can see something again. But right now, it's pretty likely we'll go a nice little distance here without any real dilemmas.
Crew with the move on DRS to the
Great move,
inside
Crew.
there. Yeah, that was smooth.
Made that look easy.
Into the
Pulaski taking that
hairpin.
man down, though.
Makes a stick. Almost 3 wide through there.
Hey, made him make him earn it. Yeah, Shane is right there on their heels, isn't he?
And the Doritos Williams, Shane O'Mac, still, it's 1 through 6. Even though they haven't pitted, that means these tires are just coming into their prime.
He said, give me that, man. Come on now. I just let you borrow it. You couldn't have it.
Such a hard spot here to do it. Can he get around? He cannot. You would think you have momentum on that outside of that corner, but just how that design is, you immediately lose it at the top of the hill.
That's like Lost Robot.
He's the one to watch. I think he pitted at the right time. Oh, we got a nudge there. Push to the outside. Shayna, was that? No, that was Pulowski hitting Crew. Yeah, he saved it, though.
Oh!
Somebody and I don't know if that's payback or not.
I don't know. Pulaski may have been nudged a little bit.
It might be some payback. Crew Streamers slid that car around there. Didn't lose it. T-Mouse now in the mix here. Again, these top 6, you can see 10 laps on these tires. That's what they started on. They have not pitted. But they are at least 4 seconds out of reach of Bevo, who's on 4-lap hards. And I'm convinced at this point, I've seen Bevo do it. Bevo can make it to the end of this race on those tires. There's no doubt in my mind. I've seen him do it before. Here we go with a little bit of side-to-side action there. On the outside, is that Shane O'Mac going to take it on the outside? He's in position to take it overall on this final corner. He does.
Great move, Shane.
Excellent racing without the assists.
Oh, what do we got here? Looks like let's had a little spin out because I don't see anybody on the track. Looks like we had a caution flag there in section 1.
And our leader right now, David Boyer, by 13 seconds over Pat. Shane O'Mac.
Had a little hiccup coming over that curve.
Shane O'Mac is closing on Pat. Here we go.
I'm jumping down to Owen. I haven't said his name in a while. Let's get you up there, Owen. Come on now. Get you up there. Make this pass. Lost Robot said, nah, man, I got fastest lap. But, hey, right now it's neck and neck. Lost Robot just got back ahead of him. Looks like they're sneaking around turn 6.
Shane O'Mac is catching Patterson. Pat. Down to 4/10, was 3/10 there for a second. This has been a hell of a rundown for Shane O'Mac and actually his whole pack of 4. Somebody did pit. Pulowski pitted. So he's on a new round. He's back in 15th now, so we're down to 5 originals. The Williams do battle. Teammates. Shane O'Mac going to take it.
Me too, baby.
Now, I don't know why Patterson cut across the track to hit his teammate. But luckily avoided him there. I'm not sure why that was a thing. Boyer just cruising so far, but he will have to pit here at some point. Crew Streamer's just eyeing, waiting for the attack. As Patterson's mediums are starting to fall off. Those hards
are right there on him. Oh, did we get contact there?
I believe we did. Crew Streamers has been an insane man gone mad today with the contact.
He might have a little wing damage there because he's falling back all the way behind T-Mouse. Let me jump inside the Crew's vehicle. I wish I could see a little more specs here as you do so.
Hard to tell if he's got damage as I'm on him now coming around that corner. I don't really see anything.
Nah, he's maintaining a pretty good speed.
Shane O'Mac, though. Can he make it up 14 seconds? His tires should just start becoming into their prime. We might have another 3 laps before those hards actually hit their prime. But Boyer definitely, those mediums are in their prime right now. They will start to fade in probably about, 6 or 7 laps. As we're almost halfway through this race. Now, let's say it's a long race, but somehow we're already halfway through this race.
I think Crew does have some damage on the wing. I don't think it's a lot of damage, but I think it's just enough damage that he's already put in 12 laps on those hards. He might be thinking about If he had been contemplating making a pit stop throughout this race, if he gets past here as he did, he's gonna pit. He'll probably pit right now.
Mouse around Patterson for third. I think Patty needs to look at pitting, to be honest with you. He keeps losing positions. The grip is gone. He is in the pit, speak of the devil. And he went a bit wide there. Almost hit the wall. That would have sucked.
All right, cruising the pit now, too.
So, as you see who's creeping in fourth. He's going to inherit the lead. He's going to roll with this unless something happens. I don't think Jonesy's going to get 14 more laps out of those mediums. I mean, I guess he could. But Natterday's right there. At least he's got 2 less laps on those mediums. Dylan's kind of dated on the 10-lap hards. It just feels like that's not the right strategy. And then Pigman Man, 6 laps on the hards. He can make it to the end. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens between Bevo and Jonesy, as the top 3 still have not pitted. Crew streamers did pit. Damage will happen when you keep punting people, but you know.
Have we ever seen a tire explode in the 2021?
It was a race we did last season where, I mean, you don't see them visually explode on here, but they give out if you reach the max. That happened because we thought it was going to happen last week. But there was a race we did, it was the end of last season. I can't remember where it was at. But it was amazing that people were pushing the tires as far as they did, but one couldn't make it, and it took like 32 laps or something like that, and I believe those were the mediums, and they finally went. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know some of y'all remember everything and every little bit of every one of these races that have ever been in the comment section. So if you know what race I'm talking about from last season, from Tier 2, please let me know. Why did he come to a stop in the pits, Boyer? Boyer came and he went ahead and pitted. As you saw there on the thing, there was like a ghost car there or something, and he came to a complete stop. That was weird.
He's come back out now. It is odd.
So we still got Shannon Mack at Team House. As Bevo is just waiting.
He's in the lead.
So the real battle here we're going to be looking at is can Jonesy close it in on Bevo to take a spot away.
Shane is an OG, two-time PRL champ. Hey, speaking of, why don't you give a shout out to all the divisions that we have? Let them know about all the divisions we have and how to go about watching us.
I don't know the exact times. You probably know more than I do. Besides Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1's Monday. I believe that's PC and PlayStation. See, you know this stuff better than I do. Tier 2 is today.
We're on the same page.
Okay. 3 is Wednesday. The Academy is Friday or Thursday, and if you want to watch Gran Turismo action, if we can ever get enough people to race, that is Sunday, and I'm partially at blame for that because I was in that league, and I don't know, it's summer. There's stuff going on. Let's do it in January when nothing's happening. So,
and plus it's new. It's just getting started. So it's going to be a while. But really, we're growing so fast. If you look at the last year, there's been so much growth and so much just active participation amongst our drivers to really expand the league and make sure that everybody who comes in is essentially vetted. Not so much in their in other areas of their life outside of their character. Are you a halfway decent person? Do you treat people with a certain measure of dignity as you're out here racing? Because we all want to be fast, but that's secondary other than being the right type of guy. And like I said before, you people have really helped me get through the pandemic in more ways that I can talk about. So I'm just thankful for each and every one of you guys. But let's keep racing.
Jonesy still within a half a second here. Cruise Streamer's the fastest lap. Jonesy... he could just be biding his time, but he doesn't want to use up those tires too fast. But he's got to keep up because at this point, obviously, Shane O'Mac and Mouse will have to pit. So the real battle for the lead is 3rd and 4th right now, and Natterday right there in 5th within a second. Nothing on that front stretch in terms of DRS passing. We'll see what happens here in Sector 3 as they go around this carousel, and we'll see if Jonesy has something. And Bevo might have something for Mouse, too, as those tires should start falling off for Mouse. But Bevo's within a second. And it's open.
He seems to be actually gaining a small measure of time on this back end, but And, T-Moss for a guy who's kind of did he slide out earlier in the race. He recovered and really has made a strong case for himself to try to win this race today.
Yeah, don't leave out Natterday either. He's had a very good day, but we got how many laps left? We're over halfway, so we got 11 laps left. So if we look at Jonesy on those mediums, 22, yeah, he can make it, but they will fall off at the end. Natterday, he's gonna make it, and he might still be in that peak zone, but Bevo hasn't hit the peak zone of these hards yet.
I would say so far, Shane is unequivocally driver today. You move up 18 spots. If he can hold this, if he can, that's a big if. That's a
He's
big
still
if.
got
The way the
to.
tires look.
They both still got to pit. I mean, they have to pit. That is the law. You got to pit once. So they have not pitted. They will still have to pit.
So where are they going to come up? Well, and it does.
I don't know if those two are at this point waiting for a safety car so they can get away with it. That would be my thing, and just chance it because you still got to pit. Bevo they're all right there.
Well, if it's going to be a safety car, it's got to happen soon because this is around the time where people start feeling desperate.
And Bevo to the inside, or that was Jonesy to the inside, couldn't make anything happen. They're evenly spaced out. Like the aerodynamics take over. The two DRS zones become just a long train of air. Somebody pitted. Jonesy went in. Ooh, this is a shakeup. As I was just saying, Jonesy could make it. Strange. I don't know about this. Unless he made contact with something, I don't know about this. So, and Mouse is in.
This has been such a well-raced race. We've only lost 3 drivers. We've only got 2 penalties. I mean, like I said, for guys not to be as familiar on this track as they are with so many other ones, this is just phenomenal driving.
What do you think Jonesy was thinking with this pit just to go right back on mediums?
Mediums.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me why he did that.
Like you said, maybe it feels as if quite a few people have to pit ahead of him. How many people would that be? Let me see here.
Most of these people on hards aren't going to pit. I would say, well, Mouse didn't pit. Mouse just lost that many positions. As we have a pass here at the back between Harris and Cavoli, they might wreck again. Who knows? But
so he might be hoping that people pit again, that they'll pit out, and he'll at least wind up in P5 and have to fight his way up from there.
Well, we'll see how this. What was that? Bold move, Cotton. We'll see how that pans out as Natterday gets around Bevo down the stretch onto the inside. I think we are going to get a safety car at some point because Cavoli and Harris are back here playing tag with each other.
Did Shane pit? Yep, Shane.
And there it is. So Natterday. Told you all to watch out for Natterday, but you got to question those tires. Oh, what are the outside? Under the grass, trying. Balled him up by Bevo on the outside. Through the grass. He did not let up at all. This guy can make anything stick. Keeps it on the inside through the S chicane, whatever that is through there. Managed to make it stick, but should he be penalized for going through the grass on the outside there? Was that a push out from Natterday? Dylan also on the tail here. Older tires than anybody in the top 5, 6.
Yeah, and I believe Shane took his tires, 19 laps? So if that's the formula, looks like Dylan should be able to get about 3 or 4 more out of this. So maybe you can put a little more pressure on Natty and see how he does. It's hard to chase a guy when somebody's chasing you.
Dylan was one of the ones that pitted in the first lap or two when I guess something was going on, but he went in early. So we see how that has panned out. The other ones are Tintoretto and Harris and I guess Cavoli. Cavoli. They pitted very early. So everybody has pitted at least once now. Now we got a race. As Bevo did get the lead back from Natterday, obviously, through that section. But here comes Natterday again on the inside. We're going to see some bold battles here, these final 9 laps. Oh! Bit to the outside there for Natterday as he went too far wide. Bevo hoping to capitalize. Can he make it stick through this? They do not bump. And we got a drag race down the front stretch, side by side. Bevo coming back. Here comes Dylan. We're going to go 3 wide in this terrible camera angles. Can't see anything. Here we go. And Dylan did get Natterday capitalizing. Wow. That was a very good section of racing.
That is probably the best section on this track to actually make a pass on. You know, other than that long straightaway coming down turn 13, turn 1 and 2 is probably its trickiest, but the best place to make a turn. I would have to make a pass. I would have to say.
So interesting thing here. Jonesy pitted. Shane O'Mac pitted later and came out ahead of Jonesy. So that's worth noting. 9 and 10 as Jonesy set the fastest lap, but somehow Jonesy or Shane O'Mac came out in front of Jonesy. But anyway, here we go back at the top here, going into the left 90 and around the carousel corner, loading it up and see who's going to win this race down the back stretch again. A little bit more spread out this time.
I'm sitting in Dylan's car, and I really wish I was a Red Bull fan because that is such a beautiful car. Let me tell you. Being an anti-Red Bull fan, I will admit it right now. I probably never admit that I admitted it. That's a beautiful car.
Slight, was it? I don't know. The good defensive move by Bevo, but without much defense involved. But here we go again in the front. Natterday rebound. Here comes Dylan. Outside. He's trying to push away. Does not. Got him. Around this carousel. He's got. Bevo's got the better position, but does not stick.
And Natty is hanging in the wings. Oh, he had just a little bit of a wiggle.
And we have Cavoli and Harris off the track. Harris off the track. We're going to get our safety car.
Looks like we had a crew passed Patty right before the safety car. What happened with the safety car there?
It's not there yet. Harris is out. Are they going to call a safety car? Because he spun. And I'm sitting there watching it. Those two, something needs to be done about that. Cavoli and Harris have messed around for like the past 15 laps at the trail end of the field. But no safety car, strangely. So we're going to keep racing. Dylan in the lead.
Yeah, no safety car. It just disappeared him.
7 laps to go. Those hards will easily make it another 7 laps for Dylan and Bevo. Question is, Natterday, if he wants a chance to win this. This will be the first time I think I've ever seen hards work out for a winner in a race. And this track would be the track to use hards on. So, obviously it's not over yet. We got 7 laps left, but Boyer gets around Pigman, man, as he's making a run on fresh. Boyer on fresher tires is making a run on Natterday now. Up next, 5.3 back.
Let's see if he can gain some ground here.
Here we go, Bevo again. I think Bevo might be resting on his laurels, but real tight. Dylan just looking in his rearview mirrors. Natterday hoping something happens in front of him so he can capitalize.
My boy Patty Pat trying to chase down Crew Steamers here for this final point. Every point matters in the championships, let me tell you.
Our points leader, speaking of points, is back in 6th, 4 seconds behind Pigman Man. So you got enough in the tank there. His mediums are coming into their own. Well, yeah, they're coming in their own right now. But Shane O'Mac and Jonesy have already made a spot up. They're 8th and 9th. But it might be too little too late. I still question Jonesy pitting. That makes no sense to me. He could have made it to the end of this race and gotten at least a podium.
Yeah,
not saying he can't get back.
Wrong, but you're looking more and more right as each lap progresses. I was hoping he would come out of the pits and be around 5th place and be able to make a move. And I think he came out in 10th. And I don't see him passing Shane. That's gonna be all the battle he can handle. In fact, I'm behind him right now. He's about 0.2 of a second, 1/10 of a second behind Shane. He might make me wrong.
Oh, and Shane battle it.
What just happened there?
Shane got around Owen.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, he skipped up. All right, change around on.
So now Shane eyes the Ferrari in front. Meanwhile, Bevo still eyeing Dylan. It's Hunter chasing his prey. A little bit wobbly there coming out of that corner. I don't know what was up with that, but that gave Dylan a little bit more gap as Tintoretto goes fastest so far, 132.867.
It's not going to count for him, though, if he don't get in the top 10.
Boyer not really making any ground, even though he's on fresher tires. Really kind of strange. 5.5 back now. Pigman Man 2.8 behind him.
That's another guy who doesn't typically, he's not typically one of the top, 1 or 2 when it comes to qualifying, but you look up at the end of the race, and David is always right there, man. Either he's, right there with a shot to win it, or just a hair behind that tack, but you got to mention his name. He's there.
The bigger picture right now, as we look at championship-wise, we still got, as of it sits now, Lost Pirate, who is 6th, is definitely going to get more points than Jonesy would at 9. That's another thing, too. It's not just you gave up 3rd. You gave up potential closing gap to the championship by pitting.
Shane made a move on Lost Robot.
So that'll help Jonesy.
Got him 6th.
Shane's looking good, but does he? Well, Lost Robot's cutting back. There was contact between Owen and Robot.
Okay, I didn't see any contact with Shane, but he had a wiggle there. He definitely had a little funky wiggle. Turning around, turn 13.
Here bouncing back is the Ferrari to the inside on Shane O'Mac. Entering at turn 1 carousel. He's got it pretty clean. Got to watch and see what Owen does through here.
Owen has absolutely redeemed himself. Owen has had a great race. Like I said, Monday wasn't the best. He must have started off bad, and he just really couldn't get comfortable. This race here, you can tell.
Ballsy move going in hard. Didn't work out for Shane O'Mac.
Oh, Shane went a little wide there, and Lost Robot slipped right in there. Left the back door open, Shane.
He went in hot in that corner. Too hot, I would say. That's why he came out wide. Fortunately, with these two, you got the other ones running away. As top 3 are just blowing the doors off Boyer at this point. 5.7. I don't think anybody's going to catch them. I mean, Jonesy and Shayna would have to really pull something out. Owen gets around Jonesy again.
Yeah, we basically got a sprint race for this last little bit of race here.
As Bevo with the flaps open, we got come back around here again with 4 to go.
And I'll tell you, Dylan has done a fantastic job.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Bevo bit on his tail there for what, 4, 5, 6 laps now?
We'll go ahead and break up.
Somebody racing like that. That really affects how you race it. Here we go.
Side by side, inside. Bevo takes it. Boy, he drives in there hard and makes sure it hits. There's no reason that car should grip like that, but it did. Dylan was able to bounce back pretty well. I will double down, though, and say you are correct that in terms of math, the game will give Shane O'Mac driver of the day, but you got to give it to Dylan, though. The fact Dylan's doing what he's doing, he's already popped up at least 5 spots in a position to win this race on old tires.
I think that would definitely have some strong consideration if he wins the race. He's got to be able to keep Bevel off of him because, right now he's giving the lead back up. Oh. But if he's able to get it back and maintain it, yeah. But if he doesn't maintain it, it's kind of like it might get lost in the shuffle.
Well, here's part of the problem. Those tires will now start to fall off. Well, they'll make it, but that performance window is now closing. As Natterday, even on fresher mediums, still at the end of that performance window is closing. But that 3-lap gap of tire life for Bevo might end up making the difference, as we still completely question why Jonesy pitted, because he could easily be right here with them. But coming right back is Dylan. Ooh, right on the tail there.
Yeah, Jonesy's kicking himself right now. Are the commentators? Sorry, Jonesy. We love you, bro. We love you.
Here we go down the front stretch. Flap is open, but it's just not happening there. We got 3 to go now, right? 26, 27. Yeah, I had to use my fingers. 3 laps to go.
What happened with Toretto there? What's going on? I just seen him drop a spot or two. What happened? I just
Oh,
missed something.
well, it's because they wanted. Oh, well, they did go on for softs, but they're way in the back. He's got a penalty. He's the only one with the penalty. I take that back. Pulowski just now got a penalty.
But yeah, Pulowski.
Half-second lead now for Devo. Whip it good. There we go. Into the...
Devo starting to stretch that lead out a bit.
Them tires are definitely falling off for Dylan. Worked out. The strategy was looking good earlier, but right now it might not be enough. Natty is closing. Who is not closing is the Red Bull of David Boyer, but that is a top 4 for Red Bull if they can hold on to this. But Shane O'Mac did get around Pigman Man at some point. So Shane O'Mac now eyes, but that's 2 seconds a lap he'd have to make up to grab 4th. I don't see that happening.
I'm curious to see if Owen is going to be able to pass up Lost Pirate here. He's about a half a second behind Lost Robot, but he's on 18 lap old hard, and Robot's on 16 lap old mediums. 2 laps left in the race.
Right now, Natterday, though, however, is now within 6/10 as Dylan is clearly falling off over a second and a half. Natterday should get him here on the front stretch. Those tires are torched. Yes, he'll make it to the end, but you ain't going to be fast at the end of them hards. But he did not get him. Did not get him. So back here, Jonesy and Owen. Jonesy back up to 7th.
Owen a little wide. Owen a little wide there.
A little wide. Way wide. But here are number 1s and 2s in the points. Lost Robot, Pirate, and Jonesy. Now they can swap spots here. Jonesy is on better tires. I can see it happening as we look here to the outside. Our championship contenders is an actual playoff right now. They're going toe-to-toe in the rain, and he gets around the outside. Does he make it stick? Jonesy, brilliant outside pass. Going around that hairpin as he's left the Ferrari flabbergasted as he is on older mediums. Jonesy probably won't get past Shane O'Mac. It still baffles me how he did not how Shane O'Mac came out in front of Jonesy at the pits. So Bevo cruising now 2 seconds. Dylan still holding off just enough on Natterday. Boyer is starting to close as these top 3, at least second and third, I believe the performance has fallen off in those tires, which is allowing Boyer to catch up a little bit. But I just don't see Jonesy and Shane O'Mac doing anything to get closer.
Yeah, speaking of doing anything, they didn't give much work to the stewards. As I said before, it's a surprisingly very, very clean race.
Yep. No safety cars, even though we had the spin with Harris there not too long ago. The other 3 DNFs, I don't remember if they actually wrecked or not. But that was. So Natterday would like to get that second spot. Bevo will get a huge boost in the championship points with a victory here today. Jonesy would just be happy finishing ahead of Lost Robot Racing and taking that pole and getting that extra point.
Well, Toretto's got 6 seconds worth of penalty.
Owen's out.
He's only 2 seconds ahead of Pigman, so he's going to slide down from 8th to hell. He might slide behind Crew. That might take him all the way out of the points. The more I look at this, Tintoretto's got a 6 seconds worth of penalty. Safety car is going to bunch everybody up. Oh, that's going to take him all the way out of the points.
So everybody seems to be on cruise control here as this is the final lap. This is the end of the race. It will not close. Natterday could not make it work there. Can he push enough to force himself in here? And he does. What just happened? Natterday gets around Dylan. Is Dylan out of gas or something? I don't know. I think we're having some connection issues as Bevo wins the race. Natterday second, Boyer third. Dylan cruises to 4th. Is he out of gas? Shane O'Mac 5th. Jonesy comes in 6th. We'll close in on that points gap. We'll tighten the points gap between him and Lost Robot Racing as Robot finishes 7th. Bevo with a much-needed victory as he was on the cusp of being out of reach of this championship. But give him 25 points, and we'll see that gap close. Don't know what happened to Dylan there. You still see him.
Would you still give him driver of the day after falling to 4th?
Nah, it's Shane O'Mac.
It's Shane. Getting on the podium. Look at this guy.
But Boyer kind of looked into that, but maybe that was team orders. I don't know, because Boyer and Dylan both Red Bull. Boyer got back around to get that podium. Dylan was 4th. So you're right. Originally, half an hour ago, whenever Shane O'Mac will be the driver of the day. But we'll always question why Jonesy pitted. But maybe those tires would have fallen off too much, and maybe he would have. But you see where Dylan's at. So, who knows?
Yeah, maybe you think it'd be possible to, even after the race, as we interview the podium folks, maybe we can have a special guest and bring Jonesy in for a minute, and maybe he can answer a question or two about his strategy.
Are you friends with him? Because I think the last time we tried this, it didn't work out too well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't remember. I think the last time we tried it, but driver of the day did go to Shane O'Mac. Let's see our podium. Well, it was nice to know how we could do it, because in the party, we have to invite. I think we invite them to the party. But are you?
I can invite him to the party and then just mute it until you're ready to talk to him, and then I'll unmute it. We can go from there.
It's a closed party, though. I think maybe I don't know. Try it, see what happens.
Okay.
So as we look here, Bevo, Natterday, Boyer, Dylan, Shane O'Mac, starting 19th. One-stop race, finishes 5th. Jonesy and Lost Robot. Jonesy closes in that championship. Bevo closes even more on contending for the championship with the win.
Be sure to get all the way to the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Mine doesn't like doing that. Your PS4 does. Go ahead and read them off.
Let's see who starting at 15.
Lucifer, yeah.
We've got let me see here. Starting at 15th, we got Caballas. PRL Owen at 16th to 17th. We got CSB Harris at 18th. We got Suffering 407th. 19th, we got Matty D13 TTTV, and 20 Just Coconuts. Rounding out our grid.
All right. Are you able to get them over? Or?
Yes, sir. We're all done with those. 1 through 20. You want me to go through? Did you name the first 15?
Bevo, Natterday, Boyer, Dylan, Shane O'Mac, Jonesy, Lost Robot, Crew Streamers, T-Mouse, Pigman Man, Tintoretto, Patty Pat, Polowski, and Lucifer, 1 through 14.
And then Caballas, Owen, Harris, Suffering, Matty, and Just Coconuts.
All right. So, are they able to interview, or are we able to get them in here?
Let me see here. I was just reading those guys off, so I had to jump out of that part there. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can get Jonesy.
So, y'all like cheese or what?
Check it. I don't have Bevo. Just because I got Natty here.
Oh.
How do I not have Bevo? Oh, maybe he's not on. Weird. Natty. 1 second here.
Oh, okay. I gotta hit X first, and then I can scroll down. That's a picture of the screen. So there you go.
Where the heck are these people at? All right, so. And who was the third one?
Dylan, Bevo.
No. Not seem to be working for me, sir.
All right, well, that was fun. So until next week for Tier 2, make sure you check in on the Tier 3 stuff tomorrow, Academy Thursday. Maybe if we get something going, Gran Turismo 7 on Sunday. The events we did in the preseason were really fun. So,
As was this broadcast with you, sir. It's always a pleasure. I always learn something new, and the energy is always fantastic. So thank you so much for your company and insight.
all right, man. Until next time, I'm Feldman.
You drivers are freaking awesome. You know, I watch a lot of sim racing in absolutely Tier 1 and most other leagues, but Tier 2 in this one. But you guys are getting it done. Thank you so much.
All right. Till next time, everyone. Feldman 9000.
Hey, and it's artistic. We got you covered. See you in the world.
Later, bro.
Hey.